G'day everyone, Rach here from Inky Planners. Welcome to a kind of planning side of the Inky Planners channel today. I received in the post this week my order of coffee Monsterz stamps. I've taken them out to try and minimise noisiness. So I got, let's just explain, and ring light. I think in about June, don't quote me, Helen from the Coffee Monsterz Co. Opened up a pre-order to order stamps, and she had she has 6 stamp collections if you like, but there were only 5 available to buy, and I ordered 3 of them. The other 2 I felt, and I can't even remember what they looked like now, I didn't think they were applicable enough for me to want to go to the expense of buying them. I do not believe, if something catches your eye, I do not believe you can currently go to the Coffee Monsterz Co. website and find these. You are probably going to have to follow them on either Instagram or Facebook and wait for posts where Helen will tell you when you can order these again. I don't know if it'll be this year. It may only be a once a year type thing. I'm still new to Coffee Monsterz, so I'm not 100% certain. But I understand it does roll around periodically where you can buy some of these more exclusive items. So as I said, it was a pre-order, so I ordered them a couple of months ago. I don't know if I have got, let me see in my little list of ordering, when I actually ordered it. Yeah, it looks like it's probably June I placed the order. And I got them now, so what, 2 months? So I ordered, of the 5 available, I ordered volume 3. So I thought boxes would be the most useful. I ordered volume 5, again, sort of boxes, plus we've got the days of the week. And I ordered volume 6, which is the new set for this year. Again, sort of more boxy orientated, plus books, which is always a good thing for me. So I thought what I would actually do is stamp them. Now, I'm not going to stamp every single stamp on camera, because that will take forever and I still don't know how to speed things up. So what I thought I would do is we'd pick one off each thing. You know I'm going to end up mixing them all up because I've taken them out of the bags. I think I know. I can always look at the video. We'll pick one off each card and I will test it on a blank unused week in my Hobonichi cousin. Plus I'll also test it on a bit of photo printer paper that I have that I might be using for something later. And then at the back of the book and all these unused pages that I'm not using, I will actually off camera, that's only Grand Prix information, I'm not hiding something important, it's reminding me there was a Grand Prix that weekend. Off camera I will actually go through and do all of them, and then I'll show you show you them all afterwards, if that makes sense. So you'll see me stamp 3 or 4, and then you'll see me show you the whole lot stamped on. Certainly all of them I will show in the cousin. I probably won't stamp all of them on the scrap bit of paper. This is really just to check how they operate on this piece of paper. I know my ink doesn't bleed through this paper, so we'll see how we go. And also you'll get a bit of an idea of what bleeds through on this paper too. The inks that I'm going to use, now before I show you, I do not have any of the Versamark chalk inks that they recommend for Hobonichi paper. So, and because I'm using an old week, it does not bother me if we do get bleed through, but I will show you those for your information. So I've got a My Favourite Things Ripe Raspberry. I've got a Studio Calico Black, and I have got a Stampin' Up, this is Tahitian Tide, and I believe this is actually an in colour, which, if you know Stampin' Up, means that it's only available for 2 years. And I've actually got my catalogue here because I'm going to order some more inks. I should be able to find it relatively quickly. Yes, so Tahitian Tide is an in colour from 22 to 24, which means that you can buy it this year and you can buy it next year until the middle of the year. So if you see this and you go, oh, I like that colour, don't delay. Just get it done this year. And you can buy ink refills for Stampin' Up pads. One of the reasons I really like Stampin' Up is that their ink pads and their cardstock coordinate, and you can buy refills for your stamp pads. Not everybody has refills for stamp pads, and it just means that, like, this is a colour that's only out for 2 years. If you really love this colour, you can buy the refill and you will always have that colour until you find another colour you like. Anyway, I digress. So let's we'll do 4 on here and on here, and then I will do the rest off camera and show you. So we'll choose before this is the beauty of watching a Rachel video, where it is a one-take wonder and we don't edit things as much as possible. The other thing you will need, if you are new to stamping and you are watching this having never really watched many stamping videos, is these are cling stamps, which means that you are going to need an acrylic block to attach them to then stamp onto, as opposed to, where is that little thing here? This is already a stamp on a wooden block, so you really, for this stamp, all you need is some ink and then away you go. Whereas for these cling stamps, you do need an acrylic block. These two actually happen to be Stampin' Up blocks, but you can get acrylic blocks from any place that sells stamping supplies. Okay, now that we've done that, so I'm thinking we try the big thing. Let's try the TV, we'll do the dinner plate, and a little one that goes on here. So let's start with these two. You will also need some wipes to clean your stamps off. Now, I never condition my stamps before I use them. Some people do, so you may find that there are some comments about how I haven't used my stamps properly. So be it. I've been stamping for 20 years. But what I might do in the interests of, well, let's just see. I've never used one of these Coffee Monsterz stamps before, so we may just stamp it off and just see. So I think I've got everything I need. Let's start with pink. Usually with little stamps I do it this way rather than this way. It really doesn't make any difference. The only thing I would say is get into the habit of closing your inks. Okay, so let's go one here. Oh, look at that. That's a really good image. I'm happy with that. That's a really good image. Okay, and the reason I'm saying that, if I can find this, I also received some other stamps this week. Be interesting to see what the ink actually does. Oh, I never showed you that on screen, did I? I'll do it with the next one. I'll just put that away for now. I always get into the habit, I clean my stamp as soon as I use it and I put it back on its thing, so you never are lost. The reason I'm talking about that's a really good image is because I stamped a new stamp this week, and I don't know if you can see that has not stamped as cleanly as I would like it. In a different colour, which is the Tahitian Tide we're going to use, it's a bit better. and this black is this, so we'll see what the difference is shortly, but let's do this. Oh. Let's go. Right, so I am putting my stamp on the stamp pad this time, and I will look, and you can see I'm kind of holding it like this, but I will look to see if the ink is covering everything. So this is a really big stamp pad, so I want to get this closed because I want to try and minimize mess as much as possible. I've got nothing under these pages. Okay, so this is one of the things I wanted to see. Nice. Except I've closed the ink pad. I wondered if that was going to be too big for the lines in the cousin, but it's not. Okay. The other thing I am seeing, again, and this is because I have stamped for a long time, I do not need this piece of paper now, is I am not getting a lot of mess and ink on the stamp pad, on the acrylic block around the stamp. Oh, I hadn't noticed that. Can you see? Oh, my vision is not going to be... Oh, can you see he's got these Z's for sleeping at the top? Okay, right, so just to wipe over the top, take any residue ink off, and then back onto its backing. Okay, first impressions is I am very impressed with the quality of these stamps. Okay, let's pick one more off each one. We were going to do the TV, weren't we? And then I will stamp the rest off camera and then just show you how they... right, let's try the black again. I do think it's the stamp pad. This is not a very good quality black, I think. Maybe I shouldn't say that on camera. In my experience so far, using these other two inks to using this black, I can see that this black is not laying down on the stamp as nicely. When you are doing this, you don't want to move your acrylic block or you'll get a blurred image, and you want to come straight up. Hold your paper and come straight up. Okay, better. That's a better image. What does that say about the other stamp then? Because that's a very good stamp company. Ignore my washing machine if you can hear it. I'll deal with it in a minute. Okay. Okay, that's a much better image. Alright. Okay, I am going for 10 out of 10 so far. Right, let's just do one more stamp off the other packet and then we will stop this portion. We're going to do the dinner plate. I'm really pleased I got these. I should have got a fourth colour out really, shouldn't I? Okay, you can see here, maybe if I take my finger out of the way, can you just see there I have hit the acrylic block? That should not transfer, I'll show you, because the stamp is sitting up higher than the acrylic block, but we'll do it on here first just to be sure I'm right. Yep, it didn't transfer, but I will now get it out of the way. Wow. That's because I'm doing it this way around, but it's too small really to do it the other way around. Okay. Wonderful. What I will do, if I've got enough room, is actually fill this spread so you can see how they all fit between the lines of the vertical of the cousin. Because so far everything is fitting, even this one which I thought was quite wide. There might be a... Okay, either I haven't cleaned that properly. I'll just check. I will show you too. I don't know if you can see. Can you see there is now a little bit of staining on that stamp? That's normal and it won't affect future stamping. Red colours, and this is a dark pink, usually leave residue on the stamp. Okay, so far so good. I am very impressed. I'm going to turn the camera off. I will stamp everything on this page as much as I can. I should be able to. And then I will show you the outcome. Okay, see you soon. Okay, I'm back. So I have stamped all of the stamps. We're going to push things off the table. I'll pick up the book in a minute and show you closer. Let's just get those things out of the way. So just once again, the 3 Coffee Monsterz Co. stamp packs that I got, of the 6 or 5 she has available. So there we go. So I didn't add any more to this because I didn't need to. I just wanted to get a bit of an idea of how they stamped on this paper, so they are a nice crisp image. And there is a little bit of shadowing. I don't know how well it's going to show up in this camera light, but it's not enough to cause a big deal as far as I'm concerned. But nice crisp image. So that stamp and that stamp are from volume 3. The plate is from volume 6 and the TV is from volume 5 of the stamps. So what I have done is, that's what you saw me do just before. These pink ones are all volume 3, so just ignore that column now. So all of those are from the volume 3 stamp pad. So they are stamping really nicely. I just redid that one because I was a little bit heavy-handed there and I wanted to be sure. And I think I discovered there was a hair or something, so I just redid it to be sure. Okay, volume 5 is the blue and it is the days of the week above across the top. I redid Wednesday because just this location, it wasn't getting a clean image, so there is another Wednesday there. And I moved over and did it here to get a clean image of all the stamps. So that's 1, 2, 3. This one didn't get enough ink, so I redid it as well. And then the black is volume 6. With just a re-go where things didn't quite ink enough. But as you can see, this is all the first time they've been used. And this is user error, not getting enough ink on the stamp. Or in this case, pushing too hard and causing it to spread. They stamp really, really nicely. So, what does it look like on the other side? Quite obvious. There is a lot of shadowing. You would have to have been using, if you were going to use stamps in here, you either need to get the chalk inks and try them out and see what they're like, or know that you probably can't use stamps every week, that this week you've got to use stickers to minimize some of those stamping, the shadowing. There's no real bleed through, maybe a little bit there. I don't actually think there's anything I would consider as bleed through. It's just very heavily shadowed. So there we go. That is the Coffee Monsterz Co. stamp sets, volumes 3, 5 and 6. I hope you enjoyed. Catch you again soon. Bye for now. Hi everyone. I just thought I would throw this in at the end. I hope I have edited it properly enough to say. I know a lot of people use Tombow markers on their stamps rather than ink pads. I've actually never done it. I have always had ink pads, so I've never needed the use of Tombows. But I thought we'd just give it a go here at the end as part of this whole experiment with playing with these gorgeous stamps. So I've picked 3 colours. I've got the 3 packs that I have, and we'll just take 1 stamp off each pack and try a colour and see what it's like. This may not work, it may be a dog's breakfast, but who knows. So we'll just peel off a little one, and we'll start with the green, and I'm assuming it is really just running. I can't see that there's going to be a lot of ink transfer. Yep, so that works. So I can see this is a messy thing. I've probably got to be a little bit more patient than I am. It's a little bit hard to see where your ink is, but I guess that's part of what colours you choose as well. I don't think I've got his face very well, but I can see that there is ink. So let's do it. Okay, well that's actually better than I thought, because then that offers, especially if you use Tombows in your planning, that gives you a little bit more versatility to match your stamps to the spread. Right, let's do the little pencil. We'll go for this. So that green was 192. We'll do 992 now, sort of wheaty colour. I guess the only thing I am seeing with this is that I am finding it very hard to know if I've actually got any colour on the stamp. It doesn't show up brightly like your ink pads do. So I think it's a little bit of trial and error. I have no idea if I've got enough ink. But also it's probably the colour you choose, which doesn't bode well for this one. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, well that's actually come through. I don't know how well you can see it. I'll hold the book up in a minute. Because this is a light ink. Okay, that has worked. Am I a convert to using Tombows on my... Oops, we need a stamp first. Am I a convert? Probably not. But I can... Excuse the noise. I can see the appeal of having your oh, geez. It's probably not going to come through, but we'll just wipe that off anyway. This one is going to be really hard to know whether I've actually coloured it enough, because it's a really light grey. I probably should have chosen a different one, but I wanted to use these lighter colours. Right, I have no idea. It's a bit hard to even know. Well, maybe. Okay. So I would say that grey is too light. Let's just pick one more colour to have a bit of brightness. What have we got? 703. That one you can see. I can see better on this. To be honest, because I have stamp pads, I really don't think I would be doing this. Okay, so that's there. So they've all stamped as well as they've stamped with the stamp pads I used. Just a wee note, there are images on the top of the plastic to show you where your stamp goes. So if you had pulled all your stamps off and they were just sitting on the table or whatever, you could find where it goes really easily, because there is actually a placeholder for it. There we go. There. Which I always like, because the minute you start taking things off the backing, you can never get them back on properly. Alright, let me lift this up so you can see all that help. So it's just this last column with the Tombow. So that's the green we used. You can see the pencil. The grey is very light. And then the pink that we did lastly. So it's certainly possible to do. You could start out with a packet of stamps and a couple of Tombows and an acrylic block or some hard plastic that you can stick your stamp onto, and you could get going without the need of all the stamp pads. But I think as a lifelong stamper, or 30 years of stamping, I would stick personally to my ink pads. It's much easier just to go push push. Anyway, there we go. I thought I would chuck that in at the end, and I'll catch you again in another video very soon. Thanks everyone. Bye for now. And positively the last time. This is positively the last time. I thought, I just was looking over the back, so we've just stamped the Tombows, and I thought I would just show you over the back here. We are in a bit of a shadow. Here we go. So you can just see the green, but you really cannot see the wheat, the grey, or the light pink is a very light shadow. But compared to the rest of that, this is much better from a backside point of view. So we've got all that shadowing from the ink pads, but this line here is the Tombows, and it's much better, much duller. If you were doing stuff on this side, you wouldn't have as much interference as you've got with all of that. But this video was more about using the stamps rather than the paper I was using it on. But it's worth knowing for people who are going to use a Hobonichi going forward. Okay, positively the last time. Thanks everyone. Bye for now.